Hello, my name is Julie Ramsey, and welcome to this session of Qualified Retirement Plans. Some key points. You want to know the difference between a qualified plan and a non-qualified plan. So let's break this down. If it's a qualified plan, that just means it qualifies for special tax treatment. And when that money goes in, it's either pre-tax or tax deductible. So it qualifies for that special tax rule. If it's non-qualified, then it doesn't qualify. When that money goes in, it's after-tax money. Now, I want to talk in this next section about qualified plans. Contributions go into a qualified plan. It qualifies, it's pre-tax or tax deductible, and the interest grows tax deferred. However, when I take money out of a qualified plan, it's taxed. Why? Because this money has never been taxed. Now, let's look at some examples of qualified plans. The first one I want to discuss is a defined contribution plan, just as it sounds. Defined contribution means this. It defines what the contribution will be. So your employer says, we will give you X. Good luck. We don't know what it's going to be when you actually retire, but we will contribute X amount. Defined contribution. Defined benefit plan. This is the opposite. This is where the employer defines what your retirement benefit will be. Your benefit will be this. So that one's a little bit more secure because you know what the retirement benefit will be. 401k plan. I'm sure you've heard of a 401k plan. It's used by several employers. They're for-profit, a lot of times larger organizations, and the employee can contribute, and the employer might match contributions. After you've worked for that employer so long, you are vested. So you'll get the money you put in, as well as if your employer put any money in. And it's vested. That means then if you were to leave that employer, that's your money. Simplified Employee Pension, or SEP, is very popular with the self-employed individual. And you can put 25% of your income up to a maximum amount, which is nice because if you're self-employed, you probably have no employer that's putting that in there. A 403B plan. A 403B plan is the Teachers and Preachers plan. No, it's not really called Teachers and Preachers plan, but what it is it's like a 401k, but here's the primary difference. It's for not-for-profit 501c3 organizations, right? So they work for not-for-profit entities, and they can set up a 403B plan. Now, let's go through and let's talk about individual retirement accounts, or an IRA. Now, the key word there is individual. So that means this isn't through my employer, but I would go and set up my own IRA. Now, in order to put money into an IRA, I have to have earned income. Well, what's earned income? Is that any money I receive? No. It's wages, salaries, tips, and commissions. So make sure you know what earned income is. Well, I have rental property and I make money off of that. Is that considered earned income? No, it's not. Earned income is wages, salaries, tips, and commissions. Now, when money goes into a traditional IRA, or it may just say IRA, assume it's traditional, it's tax deductible, all right? And I can put contributions into an IRA until I'm age 70 and a half. Here's the thinking behind an IRA. It's that I'm in a higher tax bracket now, and I want the deduction, because then at retirement, I'm going to pay taxes. Why do I want to pay taxes at retirement? Well, I won't be working, so I should be in a whole lot lower income tax bracket. I should pay a whole lot less in tax. If I do withdraw money, there's a 10% penalty before age 59 and a half. This is designed for you to keep it for retirement. Here's another stipulation. I must take out money. There's a required amount that I have to take out at age 70 and a half. And if not, there's a 50% penalty of the amount that I'm supposed to take out. You may be asking, who cares? Why does the government have this penalty? Why? It's my retirement. Well, here's the thing. They let you put this money into the IRA. You've tax deducted it every single year, every time you put money in. And Uncle Sam says, I want the money. Another type of IRA is a Roth IRA. Now, this is similar to the traditional IRA. You have to have earned income in order to have a Roth. But here's the differences. There is no age 70 and a half rule. You can make contributions after age 70 and a half. Additionally, you don't have to withdraw money at age 70 and a half like you did on a traditional IRA. The contributions, the money that you put into a Roth is not tax deductible. Well, what's so great about a Roth? Well, here's the thing. As long as you've had it for 5 years and you're over age 59 and a half, the contributions, that's money you put in, and all of the interest that's earned is tax-free. Nothing is taxed as long as you've kept it for 5 years and you're over age 59 and a half. So here's the thinking. I have more money now, more disposable income. I'll pay taxes now. And then I'll keep it for 5 years. I'm over 59 and a half, and everything I pull out is income tax-free. A Keogh plan. If you're self-employed and you have employees, you have to treat everyone fair. So let's say I'm an employer and I put 5% of my salary into the Keogh. Then I have to do the same thing for each one of my employees and put 5% of their salary into the Keogh. Let's recap. A qualified plan just simply means it qualifies for special tax treatment. And when I put money in, it's pre-tax or tax deductible. If it's non-qualified, it does not qualify, and money goes in, that money has already been taxed. Now, some of those qualified plans we talked about is a defined contribution. It simply defines the contribution will be this. Who knows what it's going to be, though, at retirement? Good luck. Defined benefit. This is where the employer says your retirement will be X amount. They're taking on that risk there, that investment risk. What is earned income? Wages, tips, and salary. And you have to have an earned income in order to put money into an IRA and a Roth IRA. Well, what's the difference? Remember we said in a traditional IRA, I take the deduction now, and I'll pay taxes later at retirement because I should pay less in tax because I'm going to be in a lower income tax bracket. In a Roth, I want to pay the taxes now because I have a more of a disposable income and I can use that now. Pay for it, I'm done, and then as long as I'm over 59 and a half and I've had it for 5 years, everything I pull out is tax-free. Thanks for joining me in this session of Qualified Planning.